he won the innovation award for this coach AI, which kind of ties all this stuff together, kind of like you're
Yeah.
talking about. You got all these pieces, and you start to think about it. I was with somebody who operates a community space in New York, and she was saying that she wanted to get more information about about how people were using her space, and they put in all these sensors, but she really wasn't sure
Right.
what to do with it yet. And I said, well, you got the data, you have AI now, and that's what you guys are doing. You're taking door sensors and cash registers and all that stuff and putting it together for the
Yep.
customer. So walk us through kind of what it is and kind of the value of that coach.
Of course. And so, and I love the name Coach, by the way, too. It's Coach itself started off as a platform that was bringing together that disparate data, just like you were mentioning, aggregating data from all the different systems inside the restaurant and trying to make that, usable and actionable, right? And so restaurants don't suffer from a lack of data. They have data pinpoints on every single transaction that happens. To your point, every sensor that's in there, whether it's a refrigeration sensor or a cooking sensor or a food temp sensor, you got speed of service that's coming through the drive-through. All of that data is kind of hitting people. And it's difficult to, as a restaurant manager or a first level above restaurant leader, to sit down and actually have the time to parse through that data and figure it out. So the first instance of Coach was, let's pull all this stuff together and make sure that it's one place where they can have actionable insights to how to run their business better. Because again, it's about operating more efficiently as a restaurant. Everyone is having to deal with the same kind of labor issues, the same food cost issues. But the more efficiently you can operate, the better you can, kind of schedule and tighten those things up and increase your margins. So what we actually won the award for is, to your point, AI is all over the place now, and it's very it's really kind of changed the landscape and made impacts in a lot of different areas, including acceleration of deployment of capabilities and actionable insights and things like that. So if you take the Coach product that was such a great product to begin with, and now you turn that Coach product into something that could take all of that data and I could talk to it about, ad hoc, questions that I may have at the moment where I don't necessarily have a report or a dashboard automatically set up, but it's a challenge that I'm facing right now. That also unlocks the next, potential of that data. So let me give you an example. So, for example, one of the things as a restaurant manager that you need to know is, do I have enough product on hand until my next delivery, right? So typically, quick serve restaurants get deliveries anywhere between, kind of 2 and 4 times a week. Whatever the products that come on those particular delivery trucks. We've got great software that helps you kind of do, suggested ordering and all that kind of fun stuff. But, sometimes sales, doesn't track with what the forecast is. And so to sit down and say, hey, I don't get a delivery for 2 more days, let me look up what I have on hand. Let me look up what my forecasts are. That would probably take a manager, a couple minutes to sit down, away from guests, right? So they're taking time away from serving their guests in their restaurant, which is what they really should be doing. And they've got to run a couple reports to get the answer to that question. Do I have enough chicken, for example, to last me to my next delivery? Now with Coach AI, you can actually ask it. You can say, do I have enough chicken until my next delivery? And in a couple seconds, it comes back and says, yeah, you've got a whatever 99% probability based on what we see to doing that. And it's as quick as that, right? And so that is an efficiency gain that now that person can say, hey, let me check it. Now I'm back to serving my guests, or I'm back to helping my people serve my guests, right? So that's a great example of one of the things that Coach AI can bring to bear from a reactive perspective.